Hello guys and welcome in a new video. In this video I will talk about the best foods that you should consume on a daily basis, okay? I'm basically in the supermarket and I will show you what I would buy for my diet. First, let's start from meat, okay? You can see here there are different kinds of meat, okay? And what I would choose is basically turkey for lean protein or also chicken, possibly organic chicken and turkey, and I would avoid antibiotics. Okay, now it's a bit more expensive, but it's worth it. Right next, we have beef. Okay, and beef is amazing because it contains a lot of not only protein but also a lot of nutrients such as zinc, carotene, anthocyanin, creatine. So all nutrients that are very beneficial for the human body. I would then add some kind of dairy to my diet, okay? Either in the form of cheese or also in the form of cottage cheese or Greek yogurt, okay? Now, for example, what I really like is to consume cottage cheese because it's amazing, guys. Lots of protein, bioavailable protein, and generally speaking, it's very low calorie. Okay, so I would for sure include cottage cheese on my diet. Now, if you don't like cottage cheese, you can try Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt also is very good, but I would go first for cottage cheese and then for Greek yogurt. These are just personal tastes. I would also include kefir in my diet because kefir is actually very healthy. It contains probiotics. It's basically fermented milk, and it contains also a bacteria that can actually increase your testosterone. Okay, so definitely consume kefir on a daily basis. You can also add milk, which I consume because I think is actually very healthy. Okay, I generally speaking love dairy in my diet. Now the problem with dairy is that as well it contains a lot of antibiotics, especially if it's not organic, and usually the cheap ones in the supermarket are not the best, but still dairy is an amazing food. Next, guys, we have eggs. Okay, eggs, again, superfood, lots of bioavailable amino acid, the most bioavailable protein that we can consume. Also lots of nutrients, amazing for the brain, like choline, omega-3. Generally speaking, guys, eggs are amazing, and also they keep you very satiated. Okay, so if you want to basically feel full and satiated for all day long, you can consume eggs. Also, I have to say that eggs contain cholesterol, and cholesterol is actually the precursor to testosterone. So if you basically raise your cholesterol, not with eggs, because yes, they contain cholesterol, but they do not actually increase your cholesterol. But generally speaking, if you have cholesterol in your body, you will produce hormones. Okay, so do not avoid cholesterol. Okay, do not fear cholesterol, except if there are other parameters that will put you at danger. But cholesterol alone is not bad. Next, I would consume some vegetables. I particularly tend to eat mainly this kind of vegetables and mainly lettuce because I like to have sometimes a big salad. Some days I eat salad every day, on other days I don't eat at all. But generally speaking, broccoli and salad is what I eat, okay? And I do well with salad and broccoli, but watch out because if the vegetables are uncooked, can cause different problems because they contain anti-nutrients and they can actually interfere with the absorption of some minerals. Okay, the worst in this case are legumes because they are full of anti-nutrients and I think they are not beneficial. But if you want, you can still include them because they are a natural food. Now, next would be also fruit, and you can choose the fruit that you like. I consume mainly honey. I don't like to consume fruit, but fruit is extremely healthy. Okay, so if I want to add fruit, I would basically add whatever fruit I like, mainly in the form of raisins because they contain more carbohydrates, and because I'm an athlete, I like to consume things that contain mostly quick carbohydrates, and also boron because raisins contain boron. Boron can increase testosterone and also is very good for immune system. Okay, but generally speaking, if I consume fruit, I tend to consume either raisins or also um, cucumber. I put the cucumber in the salad and I like to eat it that way. Sometimes I will include tomatoes, but more rarely because they contain also solanine. I also like a lot peppers, and I think they are very amazing because they contain vitamin C. And finally, you can also consume mangoes if you like, because I really like mangoes and I think they're amazing. As regards to grains, I think grains are not the best foods to consume. Maybe I would eat white bread as a form of grain, because white bread, generally speaking, is very easily absorbed by the body, and this is good if you're training, for example. But if you have to choose grains, try to consume the less processed grains possible. Okay, you can include them in your diet even daily, but try to consume them as less processed as possible. Okay, and you will see that your diet will be amazing. Okay, so try these foods and see how your body reacts over time. I guarantee you that if you eat healthy and you try to avoid processed foods and mainly consume the foods that I eat, you will see that you will not only lose weight, you will feel better, you will increase your testosterone, but generally speaking, you will feel more healthy.